Welcome to my YouTube channel, VB Academy of Commerce and Business Studies. I am Dr. Vijayagiri Bhikshapati, Head Department of Commerce, SRR Government Arts and Science College, Karimnagar, Telangana, India. My email address to reach is bvijayagiri@gmail.com. I am going to deliver a lecture on correlation coefficient. So it is based on the previous lecture introducing the correlation and also explained about the correlation of studying the correlation by using the graphic method. So as a part of the correlation coefficient, studying the correlation, there are two methods as we discussed in the previous class. Number one is graphic method. Number two is mathematical expressions. So according to the first one, the graphic method, there are two sub methods. One is called scattered diagram. So I would like to write the what are the graphic methods. We have already covered graphic method. Number one is scattered diagram. Number two is line graph. Line graph. It is also called as correlation graph. Correlation graph. So this is already discussed about the graphic methods, whereas now we are going to discuss about the mathematical methods, out of which also there are three types. One is Carl Pearson method, another one is Spearman rank method, the third one is concurrent deviations method. So the Spearman rank, Carl Pearson method is the first and foremost method, and it is subjected to the further mathematical verifications. Hence, this method is used very popularly in the statistics. Whereas for the qualitative data, we use Spearman's ranks method. So if we put apostrophe yes, it is very perfect. So Carl Pearson's method, Spearman's rank method. The third one is it is a very simple method, and it is to calculate this one is very simple, but it is not subjected to any mathematical verification further. Okay, so we'll deal the topic one by one. Today, most probably we'll complete the Carl Pearson method since it is a big topic. Yeah, we are going to deal with the Carl Pearson method. So Carl Pearson method is the major part. So in the correlation coefficient. So as to define the correlation, it is the relation between the two data sets or two variables having any association or relation with among them. So to be found in with this method. Yeah, Carl Pearson's method is simply written like Pearson's method, and according to this method, Pearson's correlation coefficient between two variables is defined as the covariance of two variables divided by the products of the standard deviation. So covariance of x and y, this is there now. Covariance of x comma y divided by standard deviation of x and standard deviation of y. So x comma y divided by standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y. This is what the standard deviation is a big one, and this is this subscript of the x. So this says standard deviation of x. So x variables standard deviation, y variables standard deviations. This is covariance of both. Okay, so it is also written in this way: x minus mu of x. What is mu? Mu means mean of the x, mean of the x. Mu is equal to mean of what? Mean of x, but it is the population, not the, why we call it as mu instead of x bar. X bar is equal for sample, whereas for populations mu is used. So mu is used. Okay, for sample mean, right. So the above formula defines the population correlation coefficient, commonly represented by Greek letter rho. So actually this is, when we write rho means it is the population statistics, population data, the correlation of the population. When we write r, small r, we are mentioning about the sample correlation. Substituting estimates of the covariances and variances based on a sample gives the sample correlation. This is called sample correlation. Most generally we calculate, as a students we calculate this part only. Okay, so when it is a research work and it's a bigger than the small just examples, we'll take the entire populations into consideration, and taken data taken from the samples are interpreted to the wider population perspectives. So this is with regarding to, the same is expressed in this way: x minus x bar, y minus y bar. Okay, x minus x bar, sigma is always exist. This is also a sigma, so it is not e, treated as sigma. Okay, so in this one, x minus x bar square, so this is nothing other than the under root of 6 x minus x bar square is the formula for standard deviation of x. So y minus y bar square under root is the formula for standard deviation of y. Okay, so this is what once again we can written. So the standard deviation, n into standard deviation, x y, sigma x y in minus n x bar y bar divided by n into standard deviation of x, standard deviation of y. So here we have to understand the, what we call is x bar and comma standard deviation. Smallest is or sample statistics, sample symbols or stats. So mu for x bar, standard deviation for the sigma for standard deviation is for population. What we call it is, instead of calling statistics, parameters we call it, right? So population parameters, sample statistics. So when your calculation is based on the sample, it is called sample statistics. When your calculation is based on the population data, the entire data of the population, then it is called population parameters. So the formula, same formula is written in this way: sigma xy minus sigma x into sigma y divided by n into sigma x square minus sigma x whole square. Likewise, same ditto but y. So n into sigma y square minus sigma y whole square under root. So this is the formula for correlation as given by the Karl Pearson method, right? So it is very easy to understand the formula. If you remember a small, just a small example, sigma xy minus sigma x into y. So same, if you learn a single formula for denominator, you can just interpret for the second one. See, y also in the same way we can use. So this is with regarding the remembering the formula. So the same formula written once again without sigma I signed like that. The statistics are the what we call if somebody confuses with I n like that, the this is this, so n I is equal to 1 like this formula. If somebody confuses, then the easy way of writing the formula for remembering is n into sigma xy minus sigma x sigma y divided by n into sigma x square minus sigma x whole square into n into sigma y square minus sigma y whole square. So the same is also written in this way. Instead of writing n here, so there is no n. Okay, some people, sometimes some authors or some people will write in this way. Instead of putting n here, divided n also they will write. So this is and this is both are same formulas and gives same mathematical expression. So sigma x square by n, under root is always the relation between these two is into, the decimal is there na, so into sigma y square minus sigma y whole square by n. So for the n there is no square, you must understand. So for the n here, for the n there is no square. Okay, so whole square is up to sigma x purpose only. Okay, next one, coming to the same formula, but the data sets we have to explain. Yeah, it is mentioned here what kind of data it is. This is individual data. That means, so 5 students marks are taken, marks of 5 students. 5 students marks are taken, say 80, 50, 20, 40 and 70. These are the marks given for selected 5 students. So this is called individual data, right? Individual data. So individual data, most or to the degree level, finding the correlation, the examiner or the syllabus level is finding the correlation between between two variables of individual data only. Say it is BST, business statistics marks. So another one is accounts marks. 70, 20, 40, 60, 50. Like that the marks are given, are scored by the students in the examinations. Okay. Right. This is with regarding the now we are going to deal with the calculation of coefficient for grouped data. So grouped data in the sense discrete data and classes, that is continuous data. So data sets of two variables are taken. Okay. So for which we have to calculate, we use the frequencies also. Hence, the only simple difference is wherever we write, we'll put f additionally. Earlier we call sigma dx dy. Now we multiply f into dx dy. So whereas if earlier we used to call it as sigma dx or x, so sigma dy. Now we put the f into for that. So the data set is for used for the group data. In the same way, the formula just adding f before sigma. This is only the identifying the formula when compared to the individual formula, right? So it is expressed the data. N means number of pairs. So you must understand that the data must be suppose 5 pairs, 10 pairs. So data sets are must be expressed in the pairs only. So irregular pairs is not allowed. So one is having 5, another one is having 10. So no. So pair, it must be a pair of the data. Then fdx is this is taken from assumed mean. So step deviations of x variables are multiplied by corresponding the frequencies and then added. This is what. So this is also in the same way. Okay, then we'll go to the okay. So we can take the notations. What are the notations are there? So n represented as we know the number of pairs. Sigma we know that the summation. Sigma x mean denote the sum of all x values. Sigma x square indicates the x value should be a squared first and then summated. So sigma x whole square. So the difference between sigma x square and sigma x whole square means first the summation of is taken, then it is squared. Okay. So sum of all x values are taken into consideration and then it is squared. Then sigma xy, x into y, x is this one. Likewise, y values are multiplied. So it is the product of the x and y. Then R means correlation. P means the rho means correlation of the populations, as we just now discussed. Okay. Then coming to the properties of correlation coefficient. A statistic that quantifies a relation between two variables. What is the of course it is a even definition also, or the understanding purpose also. Correlation coefficient is a statistic, a number, a compressed number that quantifies a relation between two variables. Okay, so we are writing their relation between the one variable and other variable, their relation into a compressed a single number, so that it is expressed the relations according to the algebraic method, that is the mathematical expression. can be either positive or negative. Correlation coefficient can be either positive or negative. Positive means having same kind of association. Negative is the declining association. You say positive rising association. Then falls between 0, 1, -1 and +1. So the value, R value always exists. 1 minus 1, this is greater than +1. So this is -1. You can express in that the R is the value is between +1 and -1. Okay, the value of the number, not the sign, indicates the strength of relations. So how to interpret the correlation? First, leave the what we call the negative or the positive signs first, and then the strength is when it is 0 to 1. 1 is very strong correlation relation. 0 is no correlation. In between, the magnitude grows in this way. Okay, no correlation, strong correlation. Then what is positive and negative? The positive says is the positive, both are in the same direction. Negative means both are in inverse direction. One is growing, another one is declining. Okay, then coming to the yes, the same is expressed here. The value of R ranges between 0, 1 and +1. The value of R denotes the strength of the association as illustrated by the following diagram. So it is diagrammically expressed. Okay, so this is -1, this is 0. Just I put for denotation purpose, I'll put like this. Okay, -1, 0, 1. Okay, then -1 to 0, indirect relation. That is, one is, say, if one is growing, X is growing, then definitely Y is declining. Y is declining. Okay, this is indirect proportion. Okay, this is direct relation. Direct means you grow, I grow, X, Y. So you decline, I decline, X, Y. Okay, so this is what the direct. Okay, so 1 means 100%, 1 means 100%. That's why we call it as perfect correlation. So the proportion, same proportion it is increasing, same proportion it is decreasing. So that is called perfect correlation. Okay, so if it is 75, 0.75 or 75%, then the 75% is the magnitude. Then 25, where in between there is a 50, like that. So 50 means there is a 50% of the magnitude. Then the same is as we said, the minus, except minus, everything is same for this one. So 0.25 weak relation, intermediate relations between 0.25 to 75. So strong relation is when it is reaches to 0.75 and above is called strong relation. So 1 itself is the perfect correlation. 1, when it is given +1 or -1, it is a perfect correlation. Then we'll talk about the probability error. This is an additional calculation propounded by Karl Pearson to know how much is the error or the limit of the Karl Pearson correlation. So it is to test the reliability, the word used is reliability. How much accurate or reliable is the correlation or R value. The probable error is used. The test to test the reliability of the Karl Pearson coefficient, the probability error is used. So what is the formula for determining this one? PE, it is expressed in the PE. So this 0.6745 is there now. So it is a constant, you cannot change. This number as it is, you have to write. Okay, 0.6745 into 1 minus r square by under root of n. 1 minus r square by under root of n. So as we know, r is correlation coefficient propagated by rp. The means when we write like this, so correlation coefficient is given by Pearson. Okay, so n is number of pairs, that is n is, we know that number of pairs, since it is x and y we need. So if we kept aside this 0.6745, it is called standard error. Standard error. This is probability error. This is standard error. So only difference is 0.6145 is kept aside. 1 minus r square divided by under root of n. 1 minus r square divided by under root of y. This is called standard error. Okay. So this is with regarding to the then what is the how to interpret the probability error? What are the importances? Probability error is used to interpret the values of the correlation coefficient. Interpretation of R with the help of probability error is made clear by the following points. So generally, if R value is greater than 6 probability, 6 into probability, this is what 6 times of the probability, then the coefficient correlation R is taken to be significant. So reliable, significant, these are the words in the used for statistics to trusting this the value, whereas the R value in the opposite directions less than 6 PE, then it is also 6 PE. You have to write 6 PE, 6 times of the PE. Then the coefficient correlation is taken to be insignificant. This means that there is no evidence of existence of correlation. So we need the words and deeds must support. That's why the evidence also support the argument. Hence, the correlation does not exist if it is less than 6 PE. Okay. Then one more interpretation. Probability error also determines the upper and lower bounds. Okay, upper and lower limits with the correlation of the a randomly selected sample from the sample of population universe. Okay, so if you take the population, it may be vary from the sample. Sample correlation is called R. R plus PE, R plus PE or R minus PE. So this is the what we call upper limit and lower limit. So the sample correlation may be interpreted to the universe that with the relaxation of up to plus or minus PE. So R plus or minus PE. So this is what you can trust the values of the population by using the probability error. Okay. So this is with regarding to the probability error. We go with one example. It is based on the what we call is individual data. So x, only x is given, y is given. So this is called individual type data. For the easy understanding, so it is given. we asked to calculate correlation coefficient. So before this table, I will show the formula. This formula has been taken. So n into sigma xy minus sigma x. We must write the formula first, then according to that you prepare the table. So n into sigma x square minus sigma x whole square, likewise sigma y square n into minus sigma y whole square. So this is what the formula. So for that we what are the important items we require? Sigma xy is required, xy is required, x square is required, x is required, x same y square is required. Then yes, so the data is given in this way, x data, y data, they actually given. We have to calculate sigma x, sigma y. Why? It is to find sigma x, sigma y. So x into y, 3 5s are 15, 1 8s are 80, 3 6s are 18, 5 4s are 20, like that. So x into y also we meet. So this is called sigma xy. Then coming to the x square, x is what? 3. 3 3s are 9, 1 1s are 1, 3 3s are 9, 5 5s are 25, right? Like so in the same way for y also, this is the y line, y square 5 into 5 25, 8 into 8 64, 6 into 6 36, 4 into 4 16. So the sigma y square you got, sigma y square you got 141, sigma x square you got 44, sigma xy, this is what the combined effect is 61, sigma y you got it 23. Okay, whereas this is the 12 one. Okay, so we substitute all these values. 61 sigma xy is you got the 61, 12 into 23. So 4 is the set, the number of sets. So how many values are there? N is equal to 4. So 4 into 44 minus 12, x is equal to 12, 12 whole square. 4 into 141 minus 23 whole square. So for that, by simplifying, you need, when you are doing manually, you need 2-3 steps so that your calculator works, shows whatever is the you have to write in the 2-3 steps extra. Uh, mm, then the final value is minus 32 divided by 33.466. Then you find minus 0.956, minus 0.956. So hence the correlation is very strong between these two. Okay, so the same is expressed in the same way, minus 1 less or minus less or is minus 1 less than or equal to, or less than or equal to plus 1. This is what we expressed in the just now. The values of r does not change if the values of either variables are converted to a different scales. So if you proportionately change the values, the correlation value r cannot change, because both lines are changing in this way, same proportion. So that is the scale, different scales you change, there is no problem. So for example, instead of 5, 5 here, it is 50, you call it is 50. Instead of 6, you call it 60. Then 70, you call it, sorry, 7, you call it 70. Okay, so with this you cannot change, there is no difference between Okay. Right. So by double clicking it is come. Right. So this is with regarding to the oh. Then R measures the strength of linear relationship. Linear. So we must understand that the Correlation coefficient of correlation is used for understanding the linear relationship only. It is not non-linear purpose. Okay. So I hope you understand the entire the concept of Correlation correlations in this class. Uh, the example also given for an individual data which is sufficient for the BCom level students. So I hope you understand well. With this, I am concluding here. Thanks to one and all. Please subscribe my YouTube channel, BB Academy of Commerce and Business Studies. Thank you. Thank you once again.